Alright. Getting everything sorted for our little matchup tonight. We've got this and a Pog match, just a simple little parody of an op I played a few years ago for that one, but we'll get there when we get there. Alright, let's see. A little bit of extra info here. Railway bridge can be blown up by anyone and will be 3 actions lasting 15 seconds each, with the bridge exploding 20 seconds after the end. Due to confidentiality, the Russian comms can only be tampered with via action by platoon commander, platoon sergeant, section commanders, or section 2 ICs, equivalent to French and Finnish slots. Any glider on the runway with a pilot seated will go airborne at 0 minutes, 1 minute, and 5 minutes after the end of the warm-up. Okay. Gliders will get teleported about 600 meters up in the sky with 200 kilometers per hour horizontal speed. Alright, cool. And let me go ahead and give a prediction breakdown for our fun little operation today. Let me get that written up. Let me turn down the music just a touch. Excellent. Alright. So we got the finish. And then OFCRA, I believe, are the British/French. And I'll go ahead and set that for 15 minutes. And we'll get that going. I'm going to go ahead and locally mute myself as well, just because of TFAR bugs. And we'll see how everything goes. NASA calling out if there's any issues with the gliders to talk to them on TeamSpeak. Looks like this is one of the NF maps that parodies Chernaris, and everything's just remade with World War II assets, specifically from the Northern Fronts mod. And this is meant to be a play on Operation Unthinkable, with the British and the French fighting the Finnish, I believe, in this timeline, because Operation Unthinkable was basically if the Soviets immediately got engaged with the Allied forces after World War II, after Germany was defeated. This is how it would play out. So it looks like we have an air assault style for the French and the British forces here, and the Finnish appear to be on the ground with, I would assume, some sort of Russian support. Otherwise, looking at the actual breakdown, you can follow along with the mission command here. So this is meant to be Finland in 1950, after Finland won the Finnish Winter War so hard that they lost 11% of their land to the Soviet Union. The Finns weren't happy. Now, how to be allied nations. A little bit of mistranslation, because I think this is translated from victory. Basically, the Finnish are mad at the rest of the Allies for losing so much territory to the Soviets, and now they're all fighting each other again. So it's an Allied-led invasion into Finland by the British, and now they're turning against the Anglo-Saxons. Alright, so British Army gliders will spawn on the ground, just like in regular missions. At the warm-up end, the gliders will get teleported about 700 meters in the sky at 200 kilometers per hour horizontal speed. That might be tweaked, but we see it in the mission written right here. Those are the final numbers they set, so it's 600 and 200. Gliders require a pilot, else they'll plummet to the ground, because, yeah. All Red Force squads go on the gliders, so all of OPFOR is going into gliders. That's cute. If a glider were to blow up unceremoniously for whatever reason, the people inside shall be respawned. Alright. Objectives. The railway bridge can be blown up by anyone. We already saw that. I see that we have one marked right there, and it can be tampered with on by either sides. The balance for the defenders takes into account nearly one full platoon. One, for this reason, small groups of less than 6 may be denied slotting in the Finnish platoon 1. Gotcha. Camping one of the amphibious tanks in the sea to shoot at from a safe distance from AT weapons is forbidden, will be punished by OFCRA rules. So one side has amphibious tanks. Interesting. For any doubts regarding disparities found in the post or the mission, don't be afraid to contact, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Let's go ahead and actually go over the objectives here. So, there's a neutral objective, a purple zone, that cap zone, that's worth 2 points. Blue 4 objectives, don't let the British tamper with Russian communication systems at the 60-minute mark, which is marked here, so it's a 60-minute defense objective, that's worth 1 point. Don't let the British blow up the railway bridge, which is 2 points. And then supremacy, fewer than 10 of your opponent alive, you gain 3 points. OPFOR have to tamper with the Russian communication system by the 60-minute mark, but that gets them 2 points if they get it, and then they can blow up the bridge for 1 point. So if Blue 4 wants to deny OPFOR the ability to blow up the bridge, they can do it themselves. Okay, and then there's a supremacy bonus as well. Finns are black, Brits are brown, French are green. I'm assuming that means camos. So, all in all, a much smaller amount of points to be had for this week compared to last week. Last week, I'm going to be honest, that match was an experiment by OFCRA to see if they could handle doing some PvP inside of large urban areas. I'm going to be honest, that was probably one of the more boring sessions of OFCRA I've ever covered, mainly because OFCRA, they're very, very cautious in this joint community. So to have them charge headlong into urban areas is very unlikely to happen. So it's just tough to get to stuff like that. But I mean, with this AO, back to a World War II roots, I think there's going to be a lot more action. There's definitely going to be a lot more caution, though, in the beginning. But after we see forces get engaged, I think things will be a bit better. We do have 2 Finnish spawn points for Blue 4 here, one on the southern side, one with the other half of the force in the AO itself, and then you got all of OPFOR, the British and the French forces, ready to board gliders here. So they're infantry only, and then I assume Blue 4 will have access to a few amphibious tanks and some other stuff. It's not Russian, it's Finnish, funny enough. Finnish are on Blue 4, and then OP4 are British and French. It's a weird pedigree there. You don't need to wait 3 years to watch a video? Fair enough, Shadow. All right, 8 minutes of safe start. Let's go ahead and look at what we've got. So the British forces, we've got some F and FALs in play with some small magazines. We got some Lee Enfield still and some Sterlings. All right, so a few years have passed since the end of World War II, about 5. So we've got some prototype weaponry in play here. That's quite nice to see. And we also got some Bren guns here as well for the British forces. But it looks like we're going to have 10-round FNFALs as the main battle rifle for the British troops. French, we've got some MAS 36s as their main 10-round battle rifle. All right. We've also got some STG 44s. Interesting call there, I guess, as a fill-in because they just don't have their MAS 39s. We also have their bolt-action scoped rifles there. Don't remember the exact designation, and they have some bazookas in play as well. There's the MAS 49s, I believe, the submachine gun. And then I assume the STG 44 is meant to be a fill-in. No, they have their own little machine gun, the French version of the Bren, which is that same top-down magazine system. I don't know why they've got those, but that's an interesting choice nonetheless. So basically all of these infantry here have to get into these gliders, and then they'll be teleported up 600 meters, and they'll just glide into the AO at 200 kilometers an hour. Interesting call there. Otherwise, we have half of the Finnish force up here. These guys appear to be equipped with trucks, and we have some light tanks here. Okay. So it looks like it's just some machine guns on these trucks, but hey, that is pretty nice to have there. Got some old swastika markings as well. I guess some holdovers from when the Germans had them under control. But it looks like they've got their own Finnish submachine guns, but we also see some DP-22s, and then they've got SVT-40s. Or it could be the more prototype version, but it's the 10-round Soviet battle rifle. But the Finnish also had their versions of it. And then we also have the Madison submachine guns that we see in Northern Fronts. We also see the Stahlheim helmets and some of the uniforms that look similar to when they were under Soviet occupation. And then we got some bolt-action scoped rifles as well. Interesting. Looking over at the other group of Blue 4 here. So apparently those tanks are also amphibious, based off of what the rulings were saying. So I'll be curious to see if that has any effect here today. Probably not, but we'll see. But otherwise, it looks like these guys are more of the same. Same submachine guns, same auto rifles, same... I almost said bolt action, but they're semi-auto. But yeah, not too bad. I'd imagine OP4 will definitely have the number advantage because Blue 4 has 3 tanks. Even though I dare say they're more so tankettes with those machine guns in front. They've got no sort of cannon, and they're lightly armored, but that's probably what the bazookas are for. But yeah, with that machine gun up top. Okay, yeah, they are amphibious because you do see the propeller in the back. So yeah, these things, basically they're not allowed to go out into the ocean and then camp from out there where the light anti-tank can't hit them. That's fair. Otherwise, looking over at command, we don't have anything labeled, so it's difficult for me to tell who might be in command. Could be Ellis, could be... Okay, no, Depso has an officer marker in his name, so he is commanding Blue 4. Op 4, meanwhile, being commanded by Fonz, and then we've got Pupper as a side lead. Rigel's already dead. I have no idea what already killed him, but he has a -1, so he somehow killed himself. And then Banks is also a platoon lead, so company lead is going to be Fonz. So it's Depso versus Fonz in this main group, and I'm not seeing any other platoon markers for Blue 4, but they are in 2 separate spawns, so we'll just have to see how things go. Early IFV, I mean, I'm pretty sure that tank is like on the early end of World War II, so it's a very early model, but we'll see how things go with that. Do you pull up the minimap while you're in Zeus and move the camera around? Yeah, what I basically do in Zeus is something similar to this. I'll just open the map and then click, and then I'm there. Or if someone pings me, I'll hit the space bar because that automatically brings me to them. Or if something I need to select far away, I'll select it and then hit the F key, and that'll bring my camera all the way over there. But there's a lot of different tricks I can do to get my camera over to where it needs to be. But I'm also trying to be cinematic here and there, so we see how things go. What key opens the minimap in Zeus? Usually it's just the M key. That's usually universal between games, but I could be wrong. Because I'm not in the Zeus interface right now, I'm in a spectator interface. If you are around in 5 hours when I do a Zeus op, I can check. It's funny because I've got so much muscle memory with this game because I've been Zeusing for 8 years. I don't necessarily remember which keybinds do what. I just know them based off of muscle memory, and that's such a weird thing, but that's just how it is. Wait, the Finns are Blue 4? Real. Finland equals the good guys, British and French equal the bad guys. I'm glad to see Arma's getting it right. You know, you can set any types of units to any color, right? Like, in the op tonight, I've got the U.S. forces for POG are set to green 4 because POG is set to blue 4. But you can customize that however you want. I mean, in IFA and all the World War II mods, they have Nazi Germany as blue 4. That's not meant to mean anything, but if you want to take meaning out of that, feel free, broski. But yeah, these are literally just towed wooden, like, balsa wood gliders. They're meant to have a plane tow them in. Because this is cheaper to make than an actual airplane, plus it doesn't take any fuel, it literally just glides in and then lands on these wheels. Well, most of these guys are loading up. Let's go ahead and look at the objective AOs here. So whoever has control of this little purple zone at the end of the game will gain 2 points. Literally just a block of a few buildings, some fenced out areas, a few trees, bit of concealment, bit of cover. But nothing too significant, but this should be a really nice play zone for the end. You got forced off to the far side there, and then just a lot more suburbia around for what's considered in World War II, so that's a nice AO. The railway bridge, which one platoon is entirely starting off of, you have to detonate it. There's an interaction up here to do it. I can't see anything around here specifically that calls for it. Usually there's like a barrel or something they touch. So I'm just going to assume whoever controls this area will get the option to just look at it and then do a scroll wheel option. But again, could be wrong, but yeah, usually there's something to interact with, but I digress. And then you got the radio comms up here. It's literally just this radio tower in an abandoned building. I don't see anything to interact with, so I'm assuming it's this. Whether or not they need to interact with it or put an explosive on it, I mean, either will work. But Blue 4 will probably see them put out some defenders, probably in this forested tree line to lock down that open area. Maybe a few internal guys, maybe a few guys up on the railway end line on the northern side. And then maybe some in some of these other 2-story buildings. And create a nice line of forces. However, OFCRA, they do like to put their forces out very, very far. So I wouldn't count on something like that. But Blue 4, all they really need to do is just hold these areas defensively and then wait like 10 or 15 minutes for the QRF to just come up this MSR on the coast and then come and join them for the fight, especially with that tank support. Anyway, we have the gliders that have been put into the AO automatically, and they are already starting to drop. And they're literally gliders. There's no engines. There's nothing really making noise here other than the wind going across the wood. And then you have Ash, who has just decided not to really board anything. The Finnish do not have any anti-air capability. You could argue they have AAA capability because of the machine guns on their tankettes. But the gliders, they're literally just going to land somewhere, and then that's it for OPFOR air support. They're literally just meant to be an air assault unit. And NGN, I'm doing all right. Did a lot of chores today. Wrapped up some presents for Bloodwing because some came in, and the cardboard box had some markings that hinted at what they were. Did a bunch of vacuuming, did a bunch of kitchen cleaning, fridge cleaning, had a beef tenderloin I cut up into filet mignons. There's so much little stuff I did, and we announced Checkpoint RP today. So later tonight after POG, I'll be reaching out to a few other communities to get that thing fully filled, and then tonight I'll probably be streaming some mission dev of whatever I feel like. A lot to do, super busy. I just want to get everything taken care of so I can then, you know, do what I want. But we already see these gliders are getting right into the AO. The one issue they're going to have, though, is they need to find a place to land. I'd imagine they've already practiced, and they're probably going to use this opening over here as their runway. But if they crash into a group of trees, that's going to kill everybody inside. Which is funny, but they might get mad at that. But it looks like they're going to literally try to go for a landing right here. We're not seeing any immediate dips. I'm a little worried he's going to overshoot, though. But his dismount's going to be right on top of the enemy objective here. So it's a good thing betting is running out right now because we're actually about to have units on the ground. Meanwhile, this guy, it looks like he's trying to focus. He's even opened his tail to land back here, so he can continue to drift right. So he wants to land on that side. We're going to look at these guys immediately landing into this group. But that's 12 dudes and 9 dudes. It's the 1 plus 8 and then the 11 plus 12. But some of these bushes are getting hit. They're using the folds here. But, oh, they might come in a bit too hard. Ooh. Bit of a forward jerk there, but they managed to make it. The guy down here did the smart thing. He immediately started turning his vehicle so he could bleed speed. But now they're immediately under fire. We're seeing some smoke grenades going out. Good coverage there. They are going to rush up and hit the communication site immediately before Blue 4 can even get up there. A beautiful rush play. So OPFOR is already going to get points on the board. They just need to rush a team up to basically stop Blue 4 from holding that position. So this could very much be considered a rush by OPFOR. Already, compared to last week, we're getting a lot more action in. I'm a little worried about this glider, though. They need to bleed speed, open the tail up, because otherwise they're going to come in a little too hard. Oh, that's what I was worried about them. Oh, they lost their landing gear. Oh, and they're going right into a friendly position. Well, they didn't explode, and they're all okay, and there's nothing in here to explode, so... Alright, reinforcements immediately came in. No friendlies got overtly run over. There's a little bit of blood, but yeah, okay, boots on the ground, and these guys going right up to the communications position. So great rush in from the British and French coalition here on OPFOR. You've got additional forces that have landed both on the ridge and just on the outside of the purple zone, which is going to flip the game quite a bit and turn this into a Blue 4 offensive versus an OPFOR defensive. Very interesting calls here. I'm all for it, though. Now, the interesting thing is Blue 4, at least this northern force, is going to be on defensive now, waiting for their armored supports, which have decided not to go up the coast. Wait a minute. So we're seeing only one tank going up. And it looks like these two are back here. They're going to blow up the rest of the vehicle. So they're only taking one tankette in. And then the rest are just going to drive in via transport. So Blue 4 going up the hilly route, which is going to slow them down. They weren't even able to get into their defensive positions early on, which is allowing for OPFOR to get some free points down. And now they're blowing up 2 out of their 3 tankettes. A bit of an interesting call here, but there's the communication equipment destroyed. So OPFOR have gotten those points early on. Can't remember if it's a 1 or 2 point across the board, but now we need to see OPFOR try to go for the railway bridge, but they already have forces in the neutral zone. I'm going to be honest, though. It would be better just to push all their forces out to go for the railway bridge and then just fall back to that position, especially with the guys back there. So I'm a little confused by Blue 4's play. I get, you know, being caught with your pants down and your enemy's able to rush right up to the objective, but blowing up some of your own armor assets when you have a lot of open fields to work with here, they clearly didn't lack the manpower to crew them. I'm trying to figure out what the call is here. You know? Who's commanding? Depso is usually a really, really good commander, and I know he has a strategy in mind for this, but it's just some really weird choices right now, you know? But if I was betting on Op4, I'd be feeling pretty comfortable right now, because this is a bit of a weird one. Still got Rigel's dead body back there, but it looks like he respawned and got back in. And again, he's one of these guys, the French guy's equipped with a stolen STG-44. I'd argue that's the, that was one of the first assault rifles. What do you guys think? Do you think the FG-42 or the STG-44 were the first assault rifles? Those are the earliest ones I can think of. You could also technically call the Madison.
Go Team 6.
1928 now. That the Finnish used early assault rifle
shot
too.
themselves in the foot.
Just having a sip of water here, but yeah, anything that was classified as machine gun back in World War II, you could definitely also argue as an assault rifle. But either way, Valen, thanks for the 4-month resub. I agree, it's definitely a weird call right now, you know. And you're right. There's also the Sterling and the grease gun, but those are also they're compact. They're more as submachine guns. But gun technology is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Speaking of the Madisons, we see one out in play right now. Fair enough. Yeah, back in the day, the definitions of different classes definitely do change. But yeah, I mean, Op4, all they really need to do now is take this force, pull it back, and then this force can begin an assault right there. But points-wise, Op4 can just hold the neutral zone and be fine, but I think they're going to get a bit greedy. Look at Pupper, though, running down as one of the platoon commanders. Is he going to just run right in? He's got to be concerned about what's on his left, but he could flank. That is a very aggressive push by a company, and he's dead. Our first kill of the day is, yeah. Yeah. That was something. Just gonna write that timestamp down for future reference. All right, so we got Op4 doing a wide field assault right now through the open. No base of fire from security elements engaging, so they're just kind of dying here. So like I said, Op4 might get aggressive and start trying to push. I'm assuming that's a smoke, it's just a late fuse. You got some guys now going into cover right now, some Blue 4 getting knocked out. Look at this massive amount of trenches that they dug. Curious now if Parthius, he does have a submachine gun, so he could throw some grenades up here in assault, and you still have these guys digging. So I feel like Blue 4 just wasn't given a lot of time to prepare. You got a Blue 4 element assaulting from the other side here, trying to get around. Parthius, though, on the front. Kills one. Knocks out a second. He folds back. And because of the quietness of that gun, people don't notice. He gets another kill. He gets hit. Pingus trying to get him. And he gets the knockout. But for 3 kills, and we got other people knocked out here by Bluck. Blue 4 have lost their forward position, and that has given relief to the rest of the elements charging in. Very concerning now for Blue 4. Panic fire by Bluck. He's unable to line up a shot on Pingus. Grenade gets caught on the trench. That could kill his friendlies. It does not. Rifle grenade goes up. Bluck misses. Second grenade rolls down. Doesn't catch anything on the rear.
Bluck now assaulting with a charge here, not realizing his contact. He's going to see Bluck Pingus in the back, excuse me. And he gets a knockout. We're going to have to see a double tap, and there it is. So OFCRA being incredibly aggressive early on. He gets a double tap into one of the two. Okay, no, both knockouts are still up. But again, this OFCRA aggression is really paying dividends in this round. And Blue 4's armored support is still ways away because now they're driving through a random ridge forest. Okay, maybe they're thinking that they can then take the purple zone from a flanking area, but with the level of success we're seeing on this OFCRA group, these guys are going to move in and flank this area from below. Blue 4 here, they might be able to get some divides here, but OFCRA doesn't need to stay in this area. They can just push up. I feel like Blue 4 it could potentially get piecemealed here due to OFCRA's aggression. Definitely not a great start for the finish here. And with this lack of short-range security, you're seeing that some OFCRA are basically getting in the super low ground just below these defensive positions and sneaking right up to where the enemy is. And I think Cuboid might be able to pull that off here as well. There's a little bit more room to see. But there's just a lack of overwatch positions here. And this garrison doesn't need to be cleared out because OFCRA can just get one of those people that can interact with the bridge right to this spot and take it out. So they see that Parthius is still salvageable, so they're going to pull him back. We've got some knockouts over here as this OFCRA element has taken some casualties. Snuggles gets a keyhole on that knocked out. I believe that's a British player. We're hearing some rifle grenades firing out, but I'm unable to see where they're landing. There were some more British players here, but they're gone, either dead or they've routed. Full force is still pulling in. Looks like Parthius did bleed out, but we see one of the wounded Blue 4 guys bleeding out. Cuboid's moving up. We got a long-range fight here. I think, honestly, the Finnish are going to lose the bridge objective as well. We do have QRF coming in, but there's also the OFCRA element there. Cuboid thought he got spotted, but no, Defol is just firing overhead. And you're just having a rifle grenade exchange right here. Now this Blue 4 element's routed back because of that OFCRA push. OFCRA's forward element's just down to one guy right here. But a lot of Blue 4 are pulling back to try to hit this OFCRA element in the rear. So if Blue 4 can get their forces back in time, they could defeat this OFCRA element in detail and set up a new defensive position around the railway yard. And then with their reinforcements, potentially have enough to then push to the neutral zone. I don't know, we also have Nubas and Mr. Cool now flanking around the coast, but they were spotted. And I think they took a few shots from the defensive group here. Nubas returning fire. We have a knockout on Rigel. OFCRA moving forces on the rear, that's Sam and Seismo and Curie, very bloodthirsty players from FNF that know how to rush. And I don't think Cuboid is one of the characters can interact with the bridge because it's squad leaders and platoon commanders, but he might be able to do one better and take out the forces right here. No, he gets flanked into Fra in a high position, spots him, and immediately knocks him and kills him. Good play by Blue 4 to pull back in positions where they can watch forces come up. The next good play is going to probably be by Blue 4 getting on the rear of this element. If they can get into a good position and open up with some rifle grenades or regular grenades, if they can get close enough at least. We do have submachine gunners though, which can also do quite a bit of damage. Ooh, one of them is a sniper. I don't think Curie opening up early like this was a good idea because this could potentially alert OFCRA that they're being pushed on the rear, so now all these forces are going to turn around and start engaging. The submachine gunners will get an advantage versus the riflemen here between 30 rounds versus 10, or whatever magazine size it is compared to the 10 rounds on the rifle. We got some wow, that grenade landing, that's such bullshit. But this grenade's gonna get them both. Oh, and it only damages them, barely does anything. I don't see any blood textures or whatnot. Rifle grenades now going in. I forget who just blew up right there, but I think they got robbed. But OFCRA now trying to make a desperate push. We do have some forces on the side. It's an AT team. They're looking for any of the tankettes to engage. Meanwhile, the two guys on the coast have been knocked out, Nubas and Mr. Cool, because they were pretty much pushing up an open area here. And we got some bazookas being lobbed in. As pseudo... No, those are rifle grenades. Close to the fortification DeFoss using. They're trying to adjust, but can they land it? It's going to go right. Oh, lands super close to him, but it does minimal damage. Looking at the map here, we've got some forces now breaking ahead to go to the neutral zone, some crossing over, and then these guys appear to be holding. And then all these vehicles, they detonated. Yeah, it's such a... I get why they did it. They didn't want any gliders to go down there and potentially steal their vehicles and whatnot, but 2 out of the 3 tankettes, that's just a weird call. Alexander gets knocked out by NASA and Goatland. Double tapping shots going in. Goatland takes a hit from Wex, I believe. They're trying to figure out where they got hit from. These are some of the French forces now. Another rifle grenade goes in. Have they adjusted? It goes super long now. Goatland randomly suppressing. Wex firing right onto Goatland's position as he now rolls away. NASA, though, suppressing. Gets the knockout. Another rifle grenade goes in. Goes over the trench there. Another one goes short. Defra moves before he's taken out. Doritos trying to get a hit here. Another rifle grenade goes out. That one goes super far. Manages to hit this body. And Zamil and Avalos push up and eliminate NASA. And this OPFOR group is now being engaged from multiple different directions here. But we do have another OPFOR group coming in from the rear. But Blue 4's reinforcements are arriving. But that's only 5 dudes between one in the motorcycle and one in a transport truck. Will it be enough? Looking at the map on the macro side as well, OPFOR still have a pretty solid line right here. I think they're just going to concede having their radio comms position here and then moving to the neutral zone. We have to see how many people last on the Blue 4 side to make this work. Grand Break, thanks for the raid, buddy. I assume you were playing Arma. It's always so hard to raid you back because whenever I finish a stream, you're never available. But I always try, man. Hope you're doing okay. All right, Defrog gets knocked out. Banks now moving up. We'll see if he wakes back up or gets double tapped. That other Blue 4 element gets taken out. Second bomb has been set. So it looks like Rigel ran up and interacted with the bridge. But we could see Blue 4 run up and try to stop it. Got some shots going onto the body, but there was that pop-up there as OPFOR is trying to desperately get this thing. But Smeel is listed as a platoon member here, so he might be able to stop the bombs from being set on that spot. Doritos gets killed by Gaydon. Now we're seeing that big OPFOR chunk to the rear trying to come in to open up another flank. However, Blue 4 have successfully knocked out the final OPFOR player on this hill, and Snuggles and Sam are moving up. One of them switched to an SV... no, okay, he always had an SVT-40. There were 3 of them, there's 2 now. But more Blue 4 now coming in to reinforce. Twig with that marksman rifle, and they got these Blue 4 guys also moving off this position as OPFOR are moving a line down. We could see these 2 groups continue to move over. That group might move over to the neutral zone and find that other Blue 4 element. But looking at the map, we still have a good chunk of Blue 4 reserves setting up random defensive positions on the far south. I don't know what the point of that is. However, with how... I don't want to say evenly both sides have traded, but we see that there's been some casualties and some groups getting completely wiped, other groups getting completely wiped as well. Those reserves at the end of the game might tip the scale in Blue 4's favor if these groups continue to trade evenly. We really need to see someone make a hero call here and start wiping out entire squads on their own. Will that be Swola? Because Zamili's already on like 3 kills. We see now Blue 4 has shifted to engage the forces coming in from the south. And OPFOR there in the open, so Blue 4 have that defensive advantage. And we've got additional forces now coming up the coast to assist. I think this OFCRA group is in a lot of trouble. We have one guy all the way back here. Ash is lagging behind. Swola trying to pop some grenades over. Dr. Snuggles and Sam moving up, but we got Twigking and his group moving back as well. Hey, if Blue 4 bunch up and OFCRA gets some lucky grenade throws in, that could be it. But it's really going to rely on where the PvP goes. If OFCRA had perfect communication, you'd see these elements to the north continuously moving and applying pressure to squeeze this new Blue 4 position. But it's just going to be up to whatever happens at this point. Pre now covering the front as Snuggles is aggressively moving forward. He's going to move around him. Might spot him bandaging, but no, he goes prone. He's going to catch Feder instead. That could cause Pre to turn around. Wow, and look at that knockout trade. Can Pre double tap? He does! Snuggles gets robbed out of that trade and a wake-up war. And that leaves room for Feder to wake back up. Sam, meanwhile, checking the bridge, seeing some dead bodies here. I don't know if that charge can be changed back because we did see that go in. Grenade goes up, but it's short. And Pre gets shot in the back by Kajonovic. So you got some OFCRA trying to move up here. However, they're immediately being suppressed. This is not a good spot to move up on. However, we do see some Blue 4 being shot from afar by OFCRA on the rear, so they can't stay in this position for too long. That could give OFCRA some reprieve. Look at that grenade. Okay. I thought it was going to go a little further. Valley tries to push up. He gets knocked out. But that smoke is going to cover this element here. Pre was killed off. Demovar now trying to get some flanking fire, but you have this solid wall of Blue 4 here. With a long throw of that grenade. No kills. Demovar, if he can get a second one. Immediately gets one knockout, folds into cover. A second knockout happens on Jasper. I think he got knocked out by his own shrapnel because the grenade was elevated. Demovar's probably going to have to bandage right here. It's a really tough call to make. He is a medic. He can always blood bag himself. OFCRA, meanwhile, moving these additional forces up. And then we've got OFCRA moving on the northern side. They are trying to squeeze the gap, but if they're not quick enough, they can potentially get defeated in detail. Demovar gets knocked out by a grenade toss. And Blue 4 is getting squeezed. They're calling in their reserves on the flank that we're going to take the neutral zone. I think they're going to rely on their reserves to come and hit it instead, as OFCRA have a small team to hit it as well. Any ability for OFCRA to make any significant changes to this game is going to rely on Cole, Tackleberry, and Ash at this point. Otherwise, it's going to be an even fight between North and South here. But Blue 4 have some reserves to come in. OFCRA, I don't think they're going to move those reserves from that neutral position. So right now, I'm going to be honest, I think Blue 4 is in a solid spot to win it. Plus, you still have a tankette on the way for Blue 4 that could turn the tide. But numbers-wise, it is definitely in Blue 4's favor at the moment. I think OFCRA have gotten a little too aggressive and lost too much infantry in these divided attacks without completely overwhelming the Blue 4 positions with their number advantage. By the fact that Blue 4 separated into two large groups and OFCRA tried to attack both at the same time, the attrition damage that OFCRA took on that offensive has pretty much caused them to lose that number advantage. Could still turn back around, could still see some power plays here, but I would say in terms of total numbers, it is in Blue 4's advantage. Blue 4 has the advantage at the moment. Could change, but we'll have to see. Twig finishes that guy off. Now, Major Khan is also back up, so that's a fourth member here. Could see an OFCRA attack from the north. Everyone on Blue 4 turns to face the north, and then we have these remaining OFCRA infantry coming on the rear and do a massive amount of damage with some lucky grenades or some machine gun bursts from whatever they have. Auto rifles, submachine guns, even the STG-44, the early assault rifle. Anything could still happen, but this is a very dangerous position. Blue 4 could still have an issue. Callie now trying to come out on his own. He does have a submachine gun, though. BHK spots him and gets the kill. They trade. Wow. A headshot trade between the two. That is so rare to see, but it's always interesting when you see it. Now you have this machine gun opening up on the rear. Cole trying to also get some pickoffs. They're trying to hit Barrows, who ran out. That's going to cause everyone to turn around. Here's the thing, though. If they engage from the rear and pull attention away, and OPFOR assaults directly from the north, that's still going to do a significant, make something significant happen, because Blue 4 won't have enough eyes watching the northern side then. However, this flanking group for Blue 4 might also turn the tide. Looks like they're noticing some OPFOR moving up on this open side. I don't see any marksman. Oh, no. Okay, we've got a marksman, and we do have a machine gunner. This group could do some significant damage if all of OPFOR kind of hone together here. We have a smoke grenade being thrown. They're all standing around. If Blue 4 line up, this could be devastating. Granted, this Blue 4, that OPFOR group can then move up. They're starting to open up just as they're doing their smoke charge. No kills, but they've caught them in a kill zone here. I think, and that was a bad frag actually, so that's even further slowed down their advance. Some of them are crippled, but that slowed down their cohesion. And now you've got people like Sam now running up to add to the chaos here. And Sam, now that these guys are all apart, could do a lot of damage. Point man over here, Vosper gets knocked out. Sam could get up and kill Will here. And then you've got the remaining OPFOR elements right there. I mean, that was a great call by that element, even by suppressing. Sam now trying to get the kill on Will, can't seem to do it. He does have a stolen bazooka. And now that OPFOR line that we saw so well coordinated is now more of an arrow here. You see some of the Blue 4 guys that were uncon get double tapped, and most of the OPFOR to the south have also been taken out, as it looks like Twig has another 2 kills, so we might have sniped them both. Ash, though, could be in a position to retaliate if he's watching them move up. I think Sam here is going to be a bit of a linchpin as he pulls a bazooka out, fires on the corner. Really great thinking to hit that tree, but no OPFOR were in a position to get immediately eliminated by the blast. But great intelligent play by Sam. We have a knockout right here. That's Mezzo. Medic is picking him up. He really just needed to pull him back. He's putting himself at too much risk here. But we just have this long-range fight now, but we are starting to see some knockouts. Nordic trying to go for a rifle grenade, but it falls well short. And Sam's debating what he wants to do in this position. Now, even if OPFOR fully eliminates Blue 4 or vice versa, it's still going to fall to points. And we'll do a point tally in the end. I can say OPFOR might have gotten the bridge points. They definitely got the points up there because explosives were planted. We'll just have to see if Blue 4 are able to stop it. But there is a 3-point bonus for supremacy if you get your opponent under 10 players. So if one side's able to do that while retaining more than 10, that could very well win the game for that side. Sam's now going to be aggressive. I agree with this call. A well-placed grenade. Go on the back. Yep, immediately kill Will with the double tap shot. He's going to find 3 people knocked out up here and immediately takes friendly fire. So he's going to have to continue to stay in the low ground, but 3 OPFOR knocked out there. More OPFOR moving up, but we still have that Blue 4 position. Yes, it's getting harassed and they've had to pull back a bit, but it's still present. And that is the marksman right there. Could still get some hits here. Sam going to probably bandage his leg if he got hit at all. And now he's going to just be very, very cautious on the move up. But look at the sheer amount of Blue 4 defenders here. Look at that section of Blue 4 back there. These groups coming in. And then that team versus this amount of OPFOR. Blue 4 definitely have a significant numbers ratio at this point. And the knockouts just keep coming. 2 more knocked out on the rear. I think that marksman found some cracks in the barn and were able to get some knockouts there. And OPFOR not pushing up on their position. They're finally pulling back a little bit. Maybe they started taking some long-range fire from some of these guys. I see some broken glass here. Marksman, I think, found a beat on them, so that's making them freak out and pull away from that spot. But the damage has been done. Now you got Ash coming in. The question is anyone watching the rear? And yes, there actually are quite a few players back here watching. Because they haven't had a need to turn around. And Ash gets spotted. Grenade goes up. It's going to be well short. There's smokes, though. Barrows immediately running up to do a flanking action. Ash doesn't realize he is aggressively getting pushed already. So he tries to move forward. Takes enfilading fire from 2 directions. Oh, God. Ash did not realize just how screwed he was as his entire line of Blue 4 comes out to clean him up. My God. Now you got this Blue 4 line over here trying to be aggressive. Twig on 5 kills now. Sam on 2, but he's on the front line position. And now you got a few more Blue 4 guys going aggressive. I'm going to be honest, I think tactically, OFCRA didn't need to make this attack. They just needed to take that railway position. Then they could have camped and had the defender's advantage in this zone. But look at this, some Blue 4 now running around back here. I think OFCRA, in their aggression, tried to go for it all, and that might be why they lose. Because they were just that aggressive, too aggressive, and then they just lost all their forces to attrition because they're still trying to fight for this railway bridge. And it is significantly costing them. Blue 4, they pull back. We have the Tankette now in play. But it's looking in the wrong direction. It needs to be looking down that way to get maximum suppression because we already have Blue 4 infantry up here moving around. So we'll see if the Tankette gets in communication with these guys and sets itself up right here because right there it's going to pretty much be unchallenged because I'm pretty sure that they're not in bazooka range. They're not in Piat range there. Piat, I never remember how to say that one word. The crazy thing is, there we go. We're only 32 minutes in after the 8-minute save start, so we just barely got out of the early phase, but more than half of the players are dead, especially on OPFOR. So a very aggressive, very quick round. I'm going to be honest, I'm all for it, though. I love when we have less downtime and we just focus on the combat. So this could be over probably in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Tankette's now gotten into position to harass the remaining element on the rear. You got Blue 4 now trying to clean up this area right here as OPFOR only have a 4-man garrison. Blue 4 outnumber them 2-1 here. Tankette can always be redeployed to also assist in that. And then you got this solid line of Blue 4 defense here. Unfortunately, our heavy hitters, Twig is on 6 kills, but he is down. Sam only on 2 kills. He tried to pull back and is down. Got a medic right here that could help them out. Twig is more than likely going to be brought back. Sam, not sure about. But just looking at the remaining numbers on a macro level, unless we see some blatant team killing, I don't see how OPFOR can turn this around. Senwick gets shot by what sounded like a bolt action. Ah, yeah, no. He's completely lined up on that window. He definitely got sniped. And you got this one semi-auto gunner right there just kind of looking out, trying to see if he can get any pickoffs. Now, we're not at the 10 or less yet for either side, but OPFOR, if they're not careful, we're going to get there very quickly. You got that machine gun fire coming in the rear as the Tankette's trying to open up on these guys. They're turning around. I think they see the Tankette there. Tankette's probably reloading. These guys are refusing to turn around. I just heard some bullet impacts in a body up here. Twig gets back up. We'll see if he can do anything else as a marksman there on this remaining group. They are now taking fire, though. But it's over. Tankette now firing again. Trying to hit Bursty as he moves around. He gets knocked to his feet. He's crippled. Should be an easy kill for that Tankette. But I think it has to reload again because it only has like 30 or 40 round magazines. Smoke's going down as Newton and Metso are pushing Lazarov and Senwick. And they're circling around the building, not going in it. Bit of an interesting call. That door just magically opened up, probably for a client-side bunny or snake, but didn't render for everyone's server side, so that's interesting. Tankette continuing to engage. We've got one knockout right here, another dead body. Looks like they're having trouble ranging the Tankette machine gun, which is fair. They should be trying to fire in bursts. That should help them line up the shot. You see this guy, he's just outright routed. He doesn't even have a gun, and he gets shot by the Tankette for running. Oh! Love to see it. Don't be a coward. And then I assume this is OPFOR command back here. No, Fonz is up there. So who are these chuckleheads? Is it a sniper team? It's an LR with a sniper. Yeah. 2 LRs with a sniper. Yeah, so they're kind of observing the fight with nothing else to really call in. You got these guys laying low now. Blue 4. Looks like Senwick got woken up. And I don't know why the one Blue 4 guy went up on his own there, but I guess the rest of Blue 4 now know where OPFOR is. That's weird that they enveloped the building. They knew they knocked out a guy over there. Grenade double taps. Vincenzo also knocked out right there. Maybe some resistance from that final OPFOR element. But the Blue 4 line is holding. Zamil now going to be aggressive like Sam. Sam, I think, bled out over here. Looks like he actually woke back up. Yeah, no, Sam's still up. Good for him. But he left the bazooka back there. Twig King on 6 kills, trying to see if he can get some more. Jonathan tried to run down. He just freshly got knocked out. I saw his body ragdoll. Zamil trying to stay low. He's going to try to kill off anyone that comes up by staying right here. Gets some double taps. That's his 4th kill now. And I think OPFOR is sufficiently stuck. More double taps going in. Just saw another symbol disappear. Watching Twig like a hawk. And these 3 Blue 4 refusing to move in here as this other OPFOR garrison engages with those 3 Blue 4. So the OPFOR group up here is actually sustained pretty well, taking out quite a good amount of Blue 4 elements, but will it be enough? Kremet, meanwhile, back here, picking up a dead body, not realizing he's dead. That's a shame. Possibly doing some combat looting on some of the dead bodies on the southern side to get a better gun. Smeel trying to throw a gun. I'm going to do a head count now for OPFOR. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 still up. Blue 4, meanwhile, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 30. Plus something moving back there, which is a dude on a bicycle. So it's 31 versus 14. Blue 4 have a 2-to-1 number advantage right now. Zamil and Sam both being super aggressive here. Both, I think, still equipped with submachine guns. Sommer doesn't see that rifle push out. Zamil's going to come around just as he's bandaging and immediately gets headshotted because he went into that bandage animation. He would have had Zamil dead with that second shot, but he picked the worst possible time to bandage. Sam going to continue to be aggressive. He sees people over here. That tank gets pretty much locking down OPFOR if they try to leave this position, so they're stuck. Twig now moving up as well. We just have people that have gotten some pretty high amount of kills here or have shown a lot of aggression. Now trying to get up. Zamil tied with Twig King now for the amount of kills. Twig now, I don't know if he's trying to double tap bodies or if he's trying to get kills here. Might be trying to get double tap just to verify people are dead. But at this point, I mean, OPFOR is boxed in from multiple directions. If they try to go in this direction, they'll take fire from that garrison. They try to go this direction, they'll take fire from the tankette. And if they go forward to the south, they're just going to take fire. It's a mess right here. OPFOR just honestly getting pretty badly beat. Meanwhile, we missed it, but that 3-man team breached this building, got the 2 kills, but they took a second KIA, funny enough where the first one went. But now that number advantage has shifted back onto OPFOR's favor because of that aggressive action by Blue 4. Love to see it. Sam pushing up, getting some double taps, though it looks like someone else got that kill. He's trying to hit flip for flap here, using his weapon as a semi-auto here, just to range his shots in. He immediately turns to look potentially at Emil. Puts some shots on him, gets the knockout. It's a kill fight at this point, gets the double tap. That's his third kill. Flip, not trying to line up a shot here. He's too worried about what's coming on his flank. And I think at this point, OFCRA are down to below 10. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's 10. With one guy uncon, but we see people are trying to double tap him. So that means Blue 4 are going to get 3 points off the bat. I doubt OFCRA are going to knock out Blue 4 down to 10 or below, so we'll do a point tally when the game really dies down, but I think we could safely call it. But I'll give a few scenarios to see how things go. I love how you have Pi just coming in with a bicycle. Late to war. Sam now aggressively pushing up. We still have some OFCRA in the back here. Tankette might be out of ammo, or it's being ordered to reposition on that final zone. We got shots in here. Sammy could look through the cracks and try to hit people. Turn that corner. I think they heard him. Oh my god. Sam's gonna get run down. Bursty really just pushed him with only 3 rounds in the magazine. A panic grenade gets thrown. Sam gets that kill, but he gets up and he puts his back to the grenade and gets knocked out. Super aggressive play, but it worked out. He's still got a kill. Bro, he's down. You don't have to. Okay, you could have kept that, broski. Wilkier's panic throwing. As more Blue 4 coming up. Zamil, I guess he didn't like Sam because he double taps it. He's the second one out of Sam's body. Damn, I guess something Sam said to Samil earlier pissed him off. And he saw an opportunity and he took it. Speaking of, look at this opportunity. Free kill. 7 kills for Smeel. How's Twig? Still on 7 as well, so we got 2 kill leaders here. And OFCRA down to a handful. All right, real quick. I'm going to tab out just so I can pull up the point board. And we can look at everything. So we're still not at the 60-minute mark. Let's see. So OFCRA tampered with the communication system within 60 minutes, so they have 2 points. OFCRA to blow up the railway bridge would have gained them a point. They did plant explosives on it. I'm not sure if Blue 4 turned it around, but I'm going to say because OFCRA interacted with it, I saw a prompt come up and I didn't see a follow-up prompt by Blue 4 come up. I'm going to say OFCRA has those 3 points. Here's the thing, though. Blue 4 didn't stop the British from blowing up the railway bridge, and they didn't stop the tampering, so they have no points from those objectives, but the supremacy bonus is 3 points. And OFCRA have been knocked down to 10 or less people. So that means the score right now would be tied 3-3. The final scoring objective is the purple zone, which, yes, Blue 4 have a 3-man garrison in right now, and, OFCRA do. Rolling that back. OFCRA have a 3-man garrison in. But Blue 4 have a bunch of dudes on the outside. Granted, some are getting picked off. Poor Pi just bicycled in and immediately gets shot, and his wheel gets shot off of his bike too. But as soon as the 60 minutes get capped, all of these guys are then going to rush the purple zone and clear out the remaining OFCRA element there. So I can say with a 90% certainty, barring any Audrey Hotto incidents, that Blue 4 are going to win this match. And we still have like 15 minutes before the hour mark is called, so... Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, crazy trying to hit flip for flap. He throws a grenade out. But it ain't enough. I think the tankette crew just bailed out because they're completely out of ammo because they were just busy suppressing the shit out of OPFOR and slowing them down so they couldn't even get up to that railway area. But yeah, if OPFOR played this more defensively after that rush play, they would have actually been fine. Oh my god, Pi woke back up. And I think he wants revenge for his bicycle. He throws a grenade inside, and Beatty doesn't notice. And Beatty... The door saves Beatty! Pi now taking friendly fire. He pulls away. Grenade goes outside of the building now. Huh. Oh my god, Pi's getting swarmed. No, Flip for Flap's getting swarmed here. So you got those 3 back there, and you got another 3 over here. This is... Pretty sure this is over, Chief. The only way OPFOR could win is if they knock down Blue 4 below 10 players, and I just don't see that happening. Another grenade goes in that gets a double knockout. You got Beatty now camping the door. Kaiser hopefully can run in and get the follow-up kill hits on those 2 Uncon guys. Because Natha woke back up. And he gets 1 knockout, but he can't line up the kill on the guy he needed to. 1 OPFOR player remaining in that zone. 4 OPFOR players remaining total. All right. I'm going to put my camera on Natha here. I'll be right back 1 second. Because if we have time, I'm going to use that. Was there another client-side thingy that just opened that door? Because I could have sworn it was closed a second ago. All right. Let me just do a head count for Blue 4 here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 22, 24, and Pi just got his revenge and sniped that last dude. So it's 24 versus 3, which means OPFOR can still technically win if they got 14 kills and got them down, got Blue 4 down to 10. So do you think these 3 guys? Well, there's 2 ways they can technically win. They can either kill 14 Blue 4 members. Of course, they don't know that, or they can take this cap zone, because technically it would be tied 3-3 right now. And if Blue 4 don't get those points, then OPFOR certainly could instead by having a number advantage in that purple zone. And there's still like 41 minutes of the round left. We just got through the halfway mark. Gonna be honest, I don't think it's gonna happen. Now you got a good chunk of Blue 4 starting to move up to that position. Rest of these guys all mounting up in this truck to move up to that zone. Here's the deal, guys. I'm cooking Blood Wing some dinner tonight. Got some small filet mignons, got some small potatoes. I'm going to turn to baked potatoes. Got some bok choy, going to cook that up with some soy. I just ran up and preheated my oven because I think we're done here. So when that oven beeps, we're done. All right? But 95% certain this is going to be a Blue 4 victory. What time is dinner? You like mine medium rare? Who doesn't like, well, there's some people that don't, and then, you know, for health reasons, of course, but most sane people like their meat medium rare, especially for a filet mignon. I'm going to get a nice sear on it and then cook it for a few minutes because it's a smaller portion, so it only needs a little bit of cook time after that sear. But dinner, probably 5:15, 5:30. I got to give her an update because OFCRA ended with about 45 minutes to spare. Let's be honest, they even started early, which was nice. But anyway, next stream will be Pog in 3.5 hours. It's the vacation special episode, which I'm going to be honest, I'm just going to be parodying an old mission I played a few years ago and partially recreating its plot, as well as adding some of my own stuff to it as well. But it'll turn into a nice three-way fight, I think. I always find it funny when we have moments like this where usually I'll go upstairs, I'll grab something and bring it down, I'll just start doing some kitchen work while we wrap the stream up, you know? Like, part of me wants to go upstairs, get a cutting board, get the potatoes, cover those potatoes with olive oil, some salt, and then wrap them in some aluminum foil and, you know, just have them ready to throw into the oven when it's ready to go. Might also be trying to talk myself into doing that as well. Yeah, so you have all these guys up here. This is clearly sabotaged. So at this point, just load back up and go to the final zone. Like, there's no point in being here. Unless they can repair it. But I wouldn't think so. Took your last final this semester and got 97%? Dope, broski. God, I do not miss taking classes. I do not miss college. I do not miss exams. I love being able to stream Arma 3 to y'all. Yep, so it looks like they're all going to just mount back up. And move out. Russian radio comms have been restored. I mean, with who? Oh, no, they're talking about that. So apparently they could still restore it by the hour mark. No, it's GG completely for OPFOR now. Because now OPFOR just lost a few of their points. So now, even if Blue 4 were to take that final zone, it would only be a tie. But they would still have to get those 14 kills. Yeah, no, it's GG Blue 4, because Blue 4 are able to rush up and redo that objective. And now these guys are going to run back, but that's done. Or Vanch, that's not too bad, but yeah, that's good. Pie's like, what the fuck? That's funny. I'm waiting to see OPFOR throw a grenade right here and try to ambush, but it looks like they're a bit too far. Alright. 5 minutes for them to run up to that position on foot while they're being stalled by a potential enemy group. Maybe. Maybe they could run up there and deal with that, but that's just going to tie the game, at least in the current state of the game, and then at the end of the game, Blue 4 is going to gain 3 points for the numbers advantage, and then 2 points for the final zone because everyone's going to be camping the zone, versus 3 dudes. And it looks like they're just going to bypass each other. All right, I'm going to call it here because it's done. You're just going to have like 20 to 30 minutes of waiting because those guys are going to run all the way out there, maybe get to it, maybe they won't, and then come all the way up again, and I don't feel like waiting for that. So that's it. That's GG. We'll be back in 3.5 hours. for some Pog. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. I know, cybersecurity majors are nerds. Dude, I was a cyber major. Probably furries and stream Arma 3 with Greek girlfriends waits in the shadows with the... Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers. Have a good one. Bye.